Don't worry if you don't know what a gacha game is. Honestly, it sucks. It sucks all the life out of you, out of the game itself, and out of your entire enjoyment of life. It sucks. Just don't play gacha games. It may look like things are happening in this footage, but this battle is on autopilot. Yeah, not very cool once you realize that. Why am I telling you guys this? Well, I wasted hours of my life playing this gacha game just because of its story.
I just wanted happiness. Normal happiness.
If you never played a NieR game, the story probably feels like a convoluted mess without any real structure, which it kind of is. The fact of the matter is that the true story of NieR is never completely covered in a single video game, a manga, a drama CD, or even a stage play. The stories in NieR are all scattered around in different mediums or formats around the globe, much like the setting to this game, the cage. The cage is so mysterious and bewitching that entices the players, making them want to unlock all of its secrets. This great giant labyrinth is perceived as both as an impassable fortress, inside and out, making you wonder whether this is a safe haven or hell-bent prison for the people that reside within. There is so much mystique about this place until I tell you that this giant labyrinth is actually a library, which is actually a data library, which is actually contained inside of a folder, which is actually a folder that is well organized with an overflowing amount of files that contains all the known records of humanity, from the dawn of man to its end. All of history that is constantly being updated and protected by someone who has a little too much time on their hands. Thank you, 10H. I've got a confession to make. I haven't played this game for like 2 years and just straight up watched all 3 acts. I'm not gonna lie, it felt like watching a really slow anime, except I'm the a-hole with the remote skipping all the cool boss fights. Okay, real quick rundown. First act, you got a story about a goat girl and a Baku. Second act, we have sun and moon kids having parental issues. Third act, we got subspace emissary. Holy crap, I hate to compare it to that, but yeah, that's kind of how it is. Every character you've grown to know and love from the main storylines and sub-stories are brought to life because an evil god invades to attempt to destroy everyone and everything you know. So the whole plot is about saving this giant data file and reconnecting it to its server provider, thank you Richard, in order to save it. So seeing all these characters gang up and interact with one another was actually kind of fun. Like the character Argo is one of my favorites. He's this great adventurer and family guy. All you know about him is that he's got a high for overcoming dangerous feats. He's addicted to climbing the tallest of mountains and exploring the most rigorous of environments. For selfish reasons, he throws himself in danger again and again, always constantly feeling guilt for his actions, which he probably should, for leaving his family to worry about him, especially if he'll ever come home. Unknowingly, Argo attempts his last descent, without never truly being able to repent of his actions. Argo falls to his death, with his last thoughts on his family, leaving his pregnant wife a widow, and his daughter fatherless. Well, now in the cage, Argo is shown to be climbing with this goat girl that probably reminds him of his daughter, and the only other character in the cage that knows his entire story is freaking out, telling him to be careful, which is really funny to see for some reason. I just described to you a 10-second interaction. Imagine a whole game of that. The thing about NieR is that there's tons of lore and characters to dive into that you can completely forget what the whole meaning of the game can signify. Like seriously, someone update the wiki on this chick. About 2 months ago, when I remembered this game existed, I went to the App Store to download it to kill some time, but I found out that the entire game had been removed from the platform. I was even more surprised to find out that the final arc was also released this year, but only a month before the game shut down. You had 1 month to play this game. Why would a studio work so hard to release basically a new DLC for a game that will be shut down forever? It's gone. It doesn't exist. So imagine spending countless of hours on a game, writing a story, animating cutscenes, and writing new music just for a game that will last for only a month for a handful of people to completely enjoy before it being completely forgotten. This is when I realized this game's story could only ever be told through a gacha game. Gacha games on average only last for about 3 years before being completely shut down. Yoko Taro, the creator of the NieR series, knew that everything would be deleted and this entire world would be destroyed eventually. So Yoko Taro formulated a story about preserving and saving his video game. The great gods of Square Enix have invaded the cage and have planned on destroying all the contents thereof. It's the job of its players to save the world of NieR. All the gameplay footage you've seen have come from these guys, the true protagonists of the NieR series. They have played and archived the journey of all that is within the cage. They saved all their hard work from being forgotten. There are fans planning on reviving the game and recreating an offline version, just to have other people experience its story for the first time.
We must gather all the stories.
This is what Reincarnation was truly about. Seriously, let's get these guys a huge handful of applause that even 10H or a Cord would be proud of. This was the only real gacha game I've ever played, and probably the last one that I'll ever touch again, but one that I'll remember very fondly for the rest of my life. Dang, that was corny. I'm a little upset that I freaking wrote that. If you liked the video though, please subscribe and check out my other videos. Let me know what all the other NieR heads think.